Welcome back, this is Cats in Camo, and we are on the range right now putting the Sig Scorpion 1911 Commander through its paces. We shot paper with this big 45, now we're going to shoot steel. I've got the Chip McCormick 10 round power mag in here to increase its capacity, so we've got 10 rounds to run through our little obstacle course of steel here. What we're going to do first is we're going to put 2 shots on the torso target to the left, and then we're going to knock down each of the zombie heads. It's very possible one of them will just get intimidated and fall down on its own, and then finish with 2 shots to the torso and the right hand target. Alright, so 9 hits, 10 shots. Even I should be able to do this. The Sig Scorpion. I told you one of those zombies might just fall down on his own.
Alright, now it's time for my course. It's a little bit different than the steel course. Right behind us we've got water jugs, soda bottles, soda cans, and shaving cream. We're going to start off with the water bottles and then go to the soda. Yeah, that's soda. Soda can. Then go to the soda cans.
Pineapple flavored. It's asking for it. Just for being pineapple flavored.
You're going to get hate comments for that. And finishing up with the all-time favorite, the shaving cream. Now, normally this is where I would ask for the gun from Dan, but because this is his favorite gun and I'm not a 45 caliber girl, I'm going to let him shoot it.
I think from now on they're all going to be my favorite gun. Just so I can shoot her course. But if I'm going to be Allie, I need to be shorter. So, the Sig Sauer Scorpion 1911 Commander. That wasn't a very spectacular death for our shaving cream.
Alright, we are back from the range with our Sig Sauer 1911 Scorpion.
This was fun. I know you don't really like shooting 45s, but I am a 1911 fan. And I had fun with this gun.
I'm glad one of us did.
It's aggressive.
Very aggressive.
It is. Alright, so let's get right to the review then. We have 8 categories with a score of 1 bullet to 5. Our first category, comfort of grip. This has G10 grips, which is a glass-infused nylon. It's a very aggressive cut, called the Piranha grips. I like how this gun feels. In my hands, it talks to me. I give it a 4.
I didn't like this type of grip. It's rough. You could feel this rubbing up against the side of my hand there. So it wasn't pleasant for me firing it. So I only gave it a 2.
Let's talk about the sights. I am a big fan of Tritium Novak sights. It makes a really easy sight picture. It's clean. I pick up the targets fast. I like it. It's comfortable. It talks to me. I gave it a 4.
The sights for me just seemed standard. Nothing special about them. Nothing over the top cool. They just seemed like they
3 dots.
do this. It's 3 dots, 3 stars, or 3 bullets. There you go. That's what I gave it.
Let's talk about the trigger. This trigger, though, is cut as a half moon. It cuts straight down the middle instead of being indented to match the pad of your thumb. It's supposed to be tactical. I just find it uncomfortable comparatively. Eventually, I think if I'm going to shoot this gun a lot more, I'm going to put a different trigger in it, just kind of uncomfortable. I'm going to give it a 3.
I like that it comes all the way down from top to bottom. It gives me a confidence level of, I know that as soon as my hand goes, or as my finger goes in there, it's going to pull the trigger. But yeah, just the straight down did feel a little awkward. So yeah, 3 seems about adequate for this.
All right, let's talk about perceived recoil. As much as I like this gun, it doesn't do a great job. I don't feel that it does a great job of taming the recoil. You still know you're shooting a heavy round. So I'm going to give this an average score. I'm going to call it a 3.
I didn't like the recoil, and again with the comfort of the grip together, they just made for an unpleasant fire.
Sure.
So I only gave it a 2.
Let's talk about accuracy. This is a very accurate gun that's pointable, and it goes where it's supposed to. You didn't always see that when I was shooting paper, but on the steel, shooting the small plates, really confident that I knew the round was going where I wanted it to. For that, I really enjoy shooting it. I give this a 4.
It didn't seem to go where I wanted it to go. And again, that could be because I'm a beginner. It could have been other factors, but it did not perform the way I wanted a gun to perform on the accuracy level. So I only gave it 2.
Let's talk about ease of reload. This has a very positive, a very positive magazine release. It's easy to find. The magazines drop clear. This Sig Sauer, you see the base plate on the magazine, it's a lip. It's not the flat. So it goes in easier and it reseats faster. The only part that keeps this down to a 3 instead of being superior, when you do reload the gun, instead of just dropping the slide home to chamber the first round, you have to rack the slide again. And it's partly an issue with the shooter, but it's also kind of a Sig Sauer. A lot of their handguns have that issue. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3.
I had trouble reloading this gun. It seems like the thicker the grips area is, or the harder it is for me, and I'm going to actually kind of blame that on my small hands, that I have to reach around more and try to find that trigger or try to find the button to actually release it.
Sure.
And then to put the new one back in. It just didn't seem like it wasn't easy for me. So I only gave it a 2 out of 5.
Let's talk about reliability. I've had 2 or 3 Sig Sauer 1911s that have all run right out of the box, clean with no issues. And this is one of those. Works great. It ate everything that we fed it. I'm giving it a 4 just because I don't really have enough rounds through it yet to just say unequivocal. That's a big word. I can't just say this gun will always fire and give it a 5. So I'm going to give it a 4. Really reliable though.
This is not a gun for new shooters. If you are new to shooting, if you're new to guns, and you want something powerful because you think powerful is just automatically better, that's a misconception. This gun is, I think it would be a great gun for an experienced shooter, but as a new shooter, I would not trust this gun. It does not give me confidence when I fire it. It almost makes me a little bit scared because there's so much power behind it, because it's not a good grip. So will it fire and go bang? Probably. But would I trust my life to it? No. So I had to give it a 2 out of 5.
All right, ease of maintenance and cleaning. I'm going to give this a 3 just because it comes apart really easy and it goes back together really easy for a 1911. But since it's being judged as a firearm and not just as a 1911, we're going to call it average.
For me, when it comes to taking a gun apart, for some reason, and again, this is a personal preference, the more parts there are, the more complicated it becomes. And being new to guns, I want something that's not very many parts, something that's very simple, very easy. This one has more components to it, whereas you don't need a tool. it still has more parts to it that
Absolutely.
there's a couple little parts that could go flying if you're not careful. It's like, oh wait, no, come back. So for me, I only gave it 2.
Well, let's see what we do for totals here. If you add up all my bullets from the Sig Sauer Scorpion 1911C, I gave it a 28.
My score only came into an 18.
And guns have different uses in different categories, and this is marketed as it's a heavy combat gun. This is something that a soldier is going to take into battle when their rifle isn't working. This is something heavy and strong that will stand up to sustained use and nasty ammo. And along with that, then you have a price that's also going to make Allie cringe. This gun retails for $1,213. It's an expensive toy if you're not life on the line, in a demilitarized zone kind of thing. Street value for this gun is still over $1,000. It's an expensive gun.
Yeah. Well.
So you can cross that off Allie's Christmas list, and definitely cross it off of her, I'm buying this for myself because I deserve a new toy.
And on that note, we are out of time for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to point those crosshairs at the like button down below. And stay tuned for more reviews coming soon. See you then.
Alright, this is Cats in Camo. Cats with camo. Cats in camo. Cats do whatever they want. Welcome back. This is Cats in Camo. It is Cats in Camo, right?
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Allie. It certainly isn't because she helps carry things.